Hello and welcome back to the Stronghold. It's that time again. It's midweek, and I want you to play some Magic because you can win 2 free rare or better ICRs and have a shot at a cosmetic. This week's midweek Magic event, we be brawlin'. Historic Brawl, as a matter of fact. And I am going to help you unlock an entire deck for Historic Brawl for the low price of only 1 Uncommon Wildcard. But before we get into all that, my crack research team has recently pointed out that we are the only channel doing consistent and timely midweek Magic content. And by crack team, of course, I mean one comment from someone who had nothing at all to do with this monkey image. So be sure to subscribe right here at the Planeswalker Stronghold for all of your future midweek Magic needs, because we will be bringing you a deck list or strategy every single week. Now, what were we talking about this week? Oh, yeah, right. The first thing we want to talk about on this Historic Brawl deck is that it is built almost entirely from your standard collection, things that I feel very, very confident about that you will have in your collection. In fact, it's almost entirely commons and uncommons, as well as a few cards that I know you have in your collection from the new player experience. But if memory serves, I'm not sure there is a single rare card in this. Of course, you can use this deck list as a starting point and change that up according to the ebb and flow of your individual collection. The first card I want to talk about is something we're going to use an Uncommon Wildcard to add to our historic playable collection, and that is the legendary creature Adeliz, the Cinder Wind, which of course is our commander. This little gal is pretty special. It is 1 colorless, a blue and a red for a 2/2 flying haste. But what really makes Adeliz an interesting commander for this deck is whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, wizards you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. That can be pretty sick. So guess what this deck is built around? You guessed it, a bunch of instants and commons and wizards. Now the other wild card that I want to use for this deck and recommend that you add to your historic collection is a single copy of Fabled Passage. At rare, this is the only rare land I plan to recommend this year, because this single card can go in every 2-color deck that you build between now and the end of time. Because when it comes into play, when you tap and sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle. If you control 4 or more lands, untap that land. So it's really kind of a nice late game mana fix to let you get that turn 4, turn 5 color fix that you need, and still not have any tempo loss. Let me see here. We are also using some of the other wild cards that we have used this year. And we will go ahead and talk about those now. We are running the Terramorphic Expanse that we picked up. Excuse me, I didn't bring a drink in, and of course this is the time I get choked up. Please forgive me. In addition, we are using a wild card of Faceless Agent at common. Of course, a Faceless Agent is a wizard and seeks you up an additional wizard to your hand. Solemn Simulacrum is the sad robot, as some like to say, but this ramps you. It draws you cards. It's a 2/2 body. The only thing it's not for this deck is a wizard, but it's doing an awful lot for us. Another wild card that we have used is Spell Pierce. Counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2. This is one of the best counter spells in Historic, And you really only need 1 or 2 copies for your collection. We talked about using 1 wildcard to go ahead and pick up the first copy on that. And beyond that, the only other card I'd need to talk about, I believe, is Opt. It is not currently in Standard unless I'm just really having a bad morning. But you can use code SUPERSCRY. The S's are capitalized, last I checked, but it's all one word. And you will get this very cool pirate-inspired copy of Opt. Not only the cosmetic that you're seeing here before you, but also a playable copy. So with that in mind, let's talk about the rest of the deck and what we've got going on here and see if there's any rare exceptions here or anything else I may have missed. Consider Delver of Secrets, Fading Hope, Otherworldly Gaze, Shell's Shield, You See a Guard Approach, Flame Bless Bolt, Frostbite, Play with Fire, Shock from your new player experience monocolor collection, Spikefield Hazard, Syncopate, Anticognition, Glimpse the Cosmos into the Royal, Jawari Disruption, Negate, Strategic Planning, Abrade, Burning Hands, Royal Eruption, Sure Strike, Thermo Alchemist, Thundering Rebuke, Arcane Infusion, Expressive Iteration, Prismari Apprentice, Arcane Signet. That is something we used a wild card for. And while we are on the subject, let's also talk about Command Tower. If we're going to be playing any sort of brawl decks, those are 2 commons well worth having. Cloudkin Seer from your mono blue new player experience. Cunning Geyser Mage, Divide by Zero, Frost Trickster, Overwhelmed Archivist, Salundi Vision, Rhyme Wall Protector, Saw It Coming, You Find the Villain's Lair, Kazul's Fury, Tome Shredder, You See a Pair of Goblins, Magic Missile, Ager, Rutha, Umara Mystic, we talked about Faceless Agent, Behold the Multiverse, Expedition Diver, Kindred Demand, Demi-Lich. Okay, obviously that is a mythic. It is from your new player experience and has been improved for use in alchemy. So this is one of those, if you have it, well, I know you have it, but run the alchemy version because it's supposedly better. Ardent Elementalist, Basalt Ravager, Pillar Drop Warden, Rockside Sorcerer, Maelstrom Muse, Bergstrider, Umari Wizard, Storm Skrillex, and Creative Outburst. The mana base, we've talked about most of this. It's 15 islands, 15 mountain, both of the snow-covered varieties. You've got your color-appropriate pathway. You've got your color-appropriate snow tap land, a copy of Faceless Haven. You probably have one of these in your collection. If you don't, run another, I believe, island would probably be the ultimate choice. Command Tower we talked about, Evolving Wilds, Fable Passage. Field of Ruin is kind of nice in Historic because you might be able to take out a very powerful land or use it to take out a man land. Terramorphic Expanse, and what else we got going on here? Oh, we talked about Evolving Wilds. Alright guys, so there's the deck. I think this has the potential to do a lot for you. This is a deck that you will continue to grow and build on and occasionally use wild cards to improve upon, and will only get better out of time. And really all you're doing is making that one uncommon investment to have a brawl deck that you will have in your collection for years. So get out there, enjoy the event, and until next time, I'll see you in the arena. What's that? You didn't catch all that? Well, Matt would like you to know that any deck list applicable to this video can be found down in the doobly-doo. And hey, let's not forget, the whole reason to participate in these totally free midweek Magic events is the prize support is awesome. You get a rare for your first and second win, and then you get a random cosmetic for your third. How awesome is that?
All right, so with all that having been said, don't forget, smash the like button like Hulk would. And of course, comment and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And one last thing, myself, I'm coming to you from America, and I have noticed that about 1/3 of my viewership is coming from the US, and about 1/3 is coming from various countries. And there's about 1/3 of my viewership that is just getting lumped into other. So to let me know you got to the end of the video, throw me a comment down in there and let me know where you are watching from.